Recapping Moderna's quarterly results from a few moments ago, the company reported a net loss of $3.6 billion. That compared to net income of $1 billion from last year, driven mostly by non-cash charges, $3.1 billion related to resizing manufacturing, also some tax allowances. That was on revenue of $1.83 billion. That was better than the $1.4 billion estimate, but this is all post-COVID, obviously. Joining us now to break it all down is the CEO, Stephane Bancel, Moderna CEO. This is life after COVID. These are just numbers that I guess you'd expect. That I don't know if anyone can really plan for it, Stephane, but you're taking the necessary steps as a company to operate completely differently in this new environment.
Exactly, Joe. Good morning. Indeed, we resized manufacturing. During the pandemic, we were obsessed about scaling up manufacturing to make as many doses as we could to help as many people as we could. And now that we are moving into an endemic setting, it's important to resize the company. And so we've announced, quite a number of measures. They are mostly non-cash to right-size manufacturing so that our cost of goods moving forward can be consistent with, 75, 80% cost of goods. The piece I'm happy about, of course, is the sales of the quarter, $1.8 billion. And in the US, we actually have recent data that we have been actually gaining market share. If you look at last year, our market share in the US was around 36%. And this year, season to date, so with the data we have accumulated to date, we're at 45% market share. And actually, even last week, we were at 51% market share for the week. And so I think that's really important because if you think about Moderna, this is a story about product launches, new product launches. We have RSV under review by the FDA right now. We have a pipeline with 6 phase 3 that are ongoing with a very, very high probability of success because they use the same technology as the COVID vaccine, which is approved. And so it's all about product launches for us. So we're resizing manufacturing, we're preparing many product launches, and we're able to take market share, which I think is an important point for a company that is more recent into commercial.
Well, Stephane, you're back to being just a normal company now. And I'm wondering how you get to the Moderna that we were thinking about with this new platform that you have, this messenger RNA platform, and we've talked about all the different uses that you're investigating. But just to be totally honest, I mean, that shows 200 as the high. I mean, you were almost 400. Your stock was almost $400 a share. What, 375, 380 at one point? So the post-COVID world is you have to go back to the basics. I think that was a one-time event that isn't likely to repeat.
Again, you're right, but the pipeline is what's going to take us to a much bigger highs over time because the platform nature of what we do, as you know, Joe, in this industry, the hardest thing is to come with the next drugs. Well, with a platform, if you think about it, we have 5 vaccines in phase 3. We have RSV, we have a new flu vaccine with very good data, flu and COVID combined. We have a CMV vaccine for which there is no vaccine available on the market. This has been the #1 priority of the National Academy of Science for more than 20 years. And cancer, we're going to have some exciting new data, the 3-year survival data coming before the end of the year. And as we said at our R&D Day, this could launch as early as 25, pending regulatory discussions. And we are currently building manufacturing for that. So what we're doing now is focusing on the pipeline, driving back sales growth through multiple product launches.
Hey, Stephane, the cancer proposition for your company, I think, is incredibly exciting for patients, for anybody who's been watching any of these things. But I wonder if there is so much concern about vaccines in general at this point that vaccine avoidance, because of everything that happened during COVID, that is what raises investors' questions about some of these things. If you have a flu vaccine, great. I don't know how popular flu vaccines are right now or how much of the population will take any vaccine. And how do you address that?
So I think, Becky, it's a good question. From what we're hearing from doctors, this is not a concern. The phase 3 right now is recruiting actually faster than planned because the data is so strong. If you remember, we're showing that compared to Keytruda, which is a great drug, we basically reduce by more than 50%, distant metastases and deaths, which is an incredible performance for a cancer product. And so this is given when people have cancer, not ahead of cancer to prevent cancer. It uses your immune system, but it's a treatment. And so I'm not aware of people not wanting to take the product. As you, of course, have cancer, what one does, of course, is to want all the best option to save your life and to live. And so we think this is not going to be an issue.
Stephane, is the demand projected, in your view, to be there every year for a new COVID vaccine that is customized to the variant, or is it not? Because it doesn't appear to be helping. Obviously, we keep talking about the share price, but I think there was at one point we thought that every fall we were going to be getting the version like a flu shot, a new COVID shot, and unless you have a lot of underlying comortalities, I don't think you're going to do that.
So if you look at the data, Joe, we believe that this season seems to be, and we need to be careful, but still November and December, but seems to be on track with last year, actually a little bit ahead of last year. If you look at the weekly data, we are projecting next year, around $4 billion of sales. I think we've heard the same thing from other vaccine player in the COVID space. And that's what the regulators and the public health officials are indicating, which is this virus is not going away. It's going to keep mutating. We're going to do every year updates. So I think that a 50 million market, which is what we saw last year, which is what is trending to this year, is something that will repeat again in 24.
Right. But that's not that big of a market, obviously. And natural immunity, I think most people are saying, look, I'll take my chances at this point with some of the issues that Becky was talking about, unless you have a comorbidity or some underlying, or you're 80 years old or something like that. So it's just, I don't think we're going back there to the halcyon days of what Moderna was, did so well providing for the world. That might not happen from COVID. Hopefully it doesn't happen from anything else either.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. We're not going back to the COVID volume on COVID, which is why we're resizing manufacturing. But when you look at the pipeline and all the products that we are launching in 24, and then several products in 25, and then even more in 26, we're talking about up to 15 products in the next 5 years, and quite a number of them in 24 and 25. And so that's how we're going to drive growth again, is through new products.
Cancer stuff, I have high hopes for. We'll see.
Right. Yeah. Right. Everybody's working on cancer, and hopefully this makes some progress there.